So let's do this one. So I have 3 terms. Now I'm in standard form. And which method am I going to use? Is there a greatest common factor? The crisscross diamond. So what are the factors of 6 that add up to 5? That I can do. But it has to add up to 5. So I have to use 3 times 2 to add up to 5. So now I'm ready to write my factors, right? Set up 2 terms, put an x in each, and then I'm putting the plus 3 here, plus 2 here. That is my factored part of the answer. It says equals 0. What are my actual x-intercepts? -3 or -2. All right. Step 2. This says always check for the greatest common factor first. Someone might approach this problem and say, oh, I got a 2x squared. I'm going to have to do that stinky box method. But what happens if you find a greatest common factor first? What could you actually divide out first? A 2. What would I have left if I divide out a 2? Just x squared, right? And then minus 3x, and then minus 4. This is a lot easier to factor because now I could just do the diamond method again, not the box method. So my final answer, once I factor, it'll just have a 2 sitting in front and then my 2 terms with an x in each. So you're going to set up your diamond. What are the factors, I hope this one works, of -4 that add up to -3? I think it works. Factors of -4 that add up to -3 are what? So -4 times 1. So x minus 4, x plus 1 goes in the factors. Does this seem familiar? I hope. We kind of took a week off from factoring. So we've been working on solving with square roots in the quadratic formula. So we're bringing it all back. What does x equal? What or what? +4 or -1 are my 2 solutions. So things to look out for on your test, making sure it's in standard form, factoring out a greatest common factor. We've seen examples like this before as well. I wrote, always make sure to set your equation equal to 0 before you start. Do I have a 0 over here? No. How am I going to get a 0 on this side? Add 4 to bring it over here. So now I have x squared plus 11x plus 24, and now I can factor it because it's equal to 0. So can you try that one by the diamond method? Diamond method. So I'm looking for factors of 24 that add to 11. Set up 2 terms, put an x in each. What are the factors of 24? Can you think of them? 8 and 3, 6 and 4, but 6 plus 4 is 10. 8 plus 3 is 11, right? X plus 8, x plus 3. So what are my x-intercepts? -8 or -3 would be my 2 solutions. Because there is no 2 in front of the x squared. You only need the box method when you've got 2x squared or 3x squared, but x times x is x squared, so you don't need the box method for that one either. We'll do one review of the box method off the review sheet together. That's a good suggestion though. All right, and then I said be on the lookout for a prime quadratic. But note, prime does not necessarily mean no solution. So here's an example that is prime with no solution. Here's an example that's prime with a solution. I can't factor that, right? So it's prime, meaning that it's not factorable, but let's solve using square roots. So people who haven't been here, if you solve with a square root, your first step is to move that other term to the other side. So I would get 4x squared. So this is prime. I can't factor it. But I could move the 25 to the other side. And then I could divide both sides by 4. So I'd have x squared equals, I'm not going to reduce this, just negative 25 over 4. What's my last step? Solving with square roots. Take the square root of both sides. Why is this no solution? It's the square root of a negative number. And if you remember on, oh, you know what I church all the time? So, no, you're all lined up. Which one? Really? I don't know what was on. Does it say it's almost dead though? Oh, shoot. Why don't you guys see if these are charged or not charged for me? I thought I actually charged them. Sorry, you had a dinosaur. Here, I think I have one in my bag. I have the nice one. I'll take the dinosaur. Let's see. Here you go. Wait, so who else has a dead one? You have a dead one or just it says no batteries? Today?
Yes.
Happy birthday. You guys want to sing? Jake wants to sing. So, I'm totally off track here, but this is no solution, right? I can't take the square root of a negative number. Oh, I know why I gave you the calculators now. I wanted you to try to take the square root of negative 25 fourths. Can't really see this very well. Anyway, it should say non-real answer. Can't do it. Huh? Under mode. Yeah, but we're not teaching them complex numbers. So there's just no real solution. Okay, so I wanted to show you this equation. Why is this prime? I can't factor this step, so this is prime. But if I try solving by square roots, if I add 3 to the other side of the equation, I get that x squared is 3. So when I take the square root of 3 is a real number. The square root of 3 is like 1. You can't see it very well, 1.73. So it's a real number, and reduced radical form, I could just leave my solution as x equals plus or minus the square root of 3. So I think if you're always thinking about on the test, it might not be factorable, but there could be a solution with square roots. You know, come back to this page. Make sure you're not falling under one of these kind of tricks. Like, ooh, I did the whole problem, but it wasn't equal to 0. You can't use the 0 product property if it's not equal to 0. Doesn't work. So those are the 4 common errors to look out for. If you turn to the review sheet, oh, you know what? I think I printed it over here, and I have to give it to you. Okay, yes. So, well, I haven't seen it today. How do I know it's the box method? Because there's a 2x squared and there's no greatest common factor. So I start by setting up this box. So remember, you put the 2x squared in the top, the minus 12 in the bottom. How do I find out what goes in these 2 boxes? I do the diamond. What goes in the top of the diamond? A times C in this case gives me negative 24, and then my B value is 5. Okay, what are the factors? We've done 24 today. So what are the factors of 24? It's the same set of factors we've already used today. 8 and 3, which one should be negative? So 8 times negative 3 is 5. So I'm going to put an 8x in one of the boxes and a minus 3x in the other box, and then see what I can put out here. I know that one of them needs to be a 2x. If I put the 2x up top, though, I have to get 3x's. over on this side, 2x times x gives you 2x squared. And then x times what gives you negative 3x? I would need a negative 3. And 2x times what gives you 8x? I would need a 4. Sorry, I did not leave you a lot of room on this one. So I get x plus 4 times 2x minus 3 as my factors. I wrote them up here. Thanks. And you are going to now find the two solutions because we haven't done one like this today. Like over here? No. That would only be if you could have divided everything by 2 before you started. So because the 2 is here inside the parenthesis, I get my 2x squared. That's a good question, though. Does everybody understand Noah's question? He's wondering why there didn't end up being a 2 here. That only happened when we factored out a greatest common factor. So there wasn't a 2 to factor out this time. So x would equal negative 4 or positive 3 halves. Remember how to solve it when you've got 2x minus 3? 2x minus 3 equals 0. Add 3 to both sides. So 2x equals 3. Divide by 2 on both sides. X equals 3 halves. You might start memorizing in your head. I'm going to add 3 and divide by 2. 3 halves. So I know it's been the weekend. We're going to go back and do 311 as a warm-up next time. You do have homework 3-7 to try to get done tonight for tomorrow. I tried to spread them out. 3-8 is Tuesday nights, but I'll accept them as long as you get them in by the test Wednesday. I'll count them on time. So if you need to wait till tomorrow and flex to get them both done, that's okay too. So take a look at the solving quadratics. If you're feeling kind of unmotivated to start at number 1, I put a multiple choice section that starts on the next page. Maybe you'd like to start with some multiple choice type questions on this Monday. See if you can match the, the answers. And I do know how to count, but you'll notice that it jumps from 4 to 6. That's because where I was grabbing this from, I really didn't like question number 5, but I was like screenshotting, each question, so I couldn't type the numbers differently. So I think there might be another one that gets missed. Oh no, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, they might go in order. Oh, 12. I must not have liked question number 13 because I did not use 13 either. So I did it for your benefit because I didn't like those questions. I think they had complex answers, like square root of I or square root of -1. All right, I'm going to be quiet now.